Oczywiście do kwalifikacji przed Grand Prix Abu Dhabi niedługo przejdziemy, natomiast zgodnie z obietnicą wracamy po krótkiej chwili i mamy pewnego rodzaju niespodziankę. Tomasz Poradzisz, kierowca zespołu Alfa Romeo eSports, już z tytułem mistrzowskim. Natomiast na finały lanowe nie przyjechał sam, przyjechał w towarzystwie swojego kompana ze sportowej ekipy i teraz musimy się w pełni skupić, wytężyć nasze zmysły, uszy, przetwarzać informacje i to, co będziemy słyszeć, bo jest to Nicolas Longuet, a więc będziemy musieli tę rozmowę przeprowadzić oczywiście w języku angielskim. Nicolas, welcome. It's
Thank
a
you very
big
much.
pleasure to have you here. One of the best guys in the office in F1 Esports, so sixth, yeah, right, in previous season?
Yeah, I finished sixth in the last season. It didn't start quite as we planned, but we got ourselves back up in the pace. And as we saw in the last events, we scored many points and got P5 in the constructors, sixth in the drivers. I mean, I was relatively happy with how the season ended.
And how is your weekend going? Are you having fun here?
Yeah, honestly, I am. There's not such thing as what you guys are doing in France quite yet. And I've been following PFS for a couple of years now because of Tomek, and I quite enjoy watching it. And it's nice to just kind of chill and watch as a spectator more than being a driver as I usually am. So yeah, I'm looking forward to finishing the last race now.
So how impressed are you by all that stuff here? As you said, in France, it's not so common to have LAN like this.
Yeah, I didn't quite know what to expect when I was going to come here for the Polish F1 series, but I see that the organization was very well. It was very well organized. I mean, everything is going smoothly so far, and I'm pleasantly surprised.
And Tomek is pretty fast as well.
Yeah, well, he wouldn't have been my teammate. So.
Yeah. He has a good teacher, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And aren't you afraid that if we have such events like here, LAN events, LAN finals, F1 Esports will be soon transformed into Polish Championship?
No, I mean,
because we in those young guys we develop many skills, important skills in esports.
Yeah, no, but many of the drivers in the Polish F1 series are part of the F1 teams in some sort of role. For example, obviously Tomek and Piotr being full-time seats in Haas and Alfa Romeo, but I know some drivers are part of development teams, and they help us make I don't know, setups and stuff like that. So I think the potential is definitely there to be even more competitive than it is now. And as Tomek being four-time champion now is getting quite a lot. So we need someone to challenge.
And would you like to have LAN events in F1 Esports as well? Do you think that it's a good idea to gather all the guys in one place?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of being in a LAN event like this. It's obviously much different than being at home. Performance-wise, I mean, stress-wise, it's completely different. The last, I think 3 years now, we did the esports series at home, and I don't know, it just doesn't feel the same as back in 2019. I know I only did one race back then, but it just felt so good and natural to be in front of a public and race all together.
And there are plans to have LAN events in esports?
I don't have that sort of information, and even if I did, I wouldn't be able to tell you. So
Yeah,
I tried.
And Tomek told us yesterday that he drove almost the whole season of F1 Esports in Switzerland, right? In Hinwil. And as for you, from your perspective, what is the best part of being F1 Esports driver? Like day in the life of F1 Esports driver, what do you value the most?
What I value the most probably is our freedom. I mean, we always have to put many hours into the game because I don't know, people might see it as oh well, they're just playing a video game and they're just having the best life. But I think it's one of the most mentally draining things I've ever had to do in my life. It's just it takes such a big toll on your mental strength during the season, especially those 4 or 5 months. But what I like is there's a big gap between each year, and we kind of get some months to enjoy actual, like, I don't know, sim racing more fun and not in such a competitive way. I know we do leagues and we just play other games as well. And also the traveling. I mean, we get to travel quite a bit, see F1 teams, like see their factories, so that's really cool. I mean, if you told me this 5, 6 years ago that I'd be in a F1 team visiting their headquarters and talking to the drivers like on pretty normal basis, and it's pretty surreal to think about.
Yeah, I've been to Zauber factory to see how you guys performing there, and I saw that in between the races in the morning you played FIFA just to relax. Yeah.
But we can't just be playing F1 all the time.
Yeah.
I just FIFA is a
Second favorite game here?
No. I mean, maybe at the moment. I don't know. It's a game I like to just play with my friends and kind of enjoy some time away from the rig. But also physically, I'm pretty tired driving all the time.
Yeah.
And does Nicolas Longuet have time for anything else than just driving F1 games?
Yeah. Also, I mean, I obviously being a gamer, I also like to play other games. But I really like traveling and seeing my friends. Many of my friends don't live where I live, so I always try to travel to them, meet them.
right.
Like every year, me and my group of friends have like 2 trips where we just go somewhere in the world and get all together. I mean, yeah, honestly, I travel quite a bit just because of that. I mean, yeah, honestly.
And it might be a quite common question to ask to you, but any advice for those guys who may not be in their peak performance right now, who face some problems on LAN, because you had to develop your skills yourself as a driver, and what is the main factor to close that gap that is right now between you, Tomek, and other guys who try to be as pro as they can?
I think the one thing that helped me immensely when I first started driving was watching the pro drivers back in the time drive and see just what they do, things that they do differently, and try to like recreate them in some way. Obviously, everyone has their driving style, which then just comes out naturally. I mean, it's something built in your body. But I think my main advice is definitely watching pros and how they drive, because you may think you're doing something right, but I don't know, something you didn't think about, and you see someone do it, you try it, and you gain a 10th. But honestly, there's no trick to this. I mean, we're putting literally 6-7 hours a day, and consistency, like maybe not every day, but like, you know, you have to keep driving. If you take long breaks, then you're not progressing anymore, and you're just stuck at this barrier. So I think consistency and discipline.
And the mental stuff is pretty difficult because all of those guys are young boys who still are at school. They have to combine all different things in their lives, and on such an event they have fans, they have big pressure. It's difficult. For you, that was very difficult at the beginning. The mental stuff of driving.
It's definitely, in my opinion, I think it's 80% mental and 20% driving in a LAN event. There's some people that just perform really well at home, and then people that just crack under pressure in an event like this. Back in 2019, when it was my first year with Red Bull, I mean, obviously I was very nervous getting on that stage, but somehow all that pressure and cameras on me just kind of blocked my mind, and I couldn't think of anything other than just driving. Because I know, like, sometimes when I'm at home and I'm doing, for example, qualifying, my mind just goes random places and starts thinking about, oh, I really like to have pizza right now. Or,
The dishwasher is waiting for you.
Yeah, very random stuff, and that distracts you, like even just a little bit, and it makes the whole difference.
Right now, we are waiting for the last race during LAN finals, so let's move on to that. Nico, it was a big pleasure talking to you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. Thank you very
Super
much.
happy to be here.
Mamy nadzieję, że też wyciągnęliście kilka ciekawych informacji z naszej rozmowy z Nicolasem Longuet. Teraz zapraszamy na króciusieńką przerwę, dosłownie minuta na reklamy i za chwilę wracamy, by znowu porozmawiać z kolejnym gościem.